Good evening again, and thank you all for joining us tonight. Welcome back to TalkTruth Series, Real Talk, Real People Live. Thank you all for joining us as usual. Thank you for your support, for the subscriptions, for all the nice little comments that you would send to us after the lives. We really do appreciate them. Thank you all. And don't forget to like and share the video. Say hi, don't be shy. Leave a comment so we will be able to give you a shout out as soon as we get started. What did I miss? Don't forget to subscribe. Also, we apologize for not going on Facebook these past couple days. We are just building our channel and we hope that you understand. We are sorry for any inconvenience caused, but we do hope that you still enjoy the show. So don't kick back and relax, but talk. We want your feedback throughout this 1 hour journey. So tonight, as usual, we have a very special guest. Tag a friend, invite somebody so they can benefit from this as well. I am going to start us off with a brief word of prayer, and then I am going to introduce tonight's guest. Yeah. And then bring her on. So let us pray. Father, we are grateful for today. We thank you, God, that we can meet people all across the world. Even though we're in the midst of a crisis, we're able to meet awesome people with great personalities. We can learn a lot from them. We can learn about their culture, and we can meet new friends and family. And God, we just thank you that you made all of this, and through you, it is possible. So I pray that you bless our guest tonight, give her the strength and the courage that she needs to continue to be a great woman and a great human being, and to be the best at whatever she puts her hands to. God, I pray that you bless our viewers, our subscribers, and all family members and supporters. We thank you, God, for these and other mercies in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, enough said. I'm going to introduce tonight's guest to you all. Our guest for this evening is from New Orleans. Who else is excited? I'm excited. She's also known as Big Easy. We're going to find out about that later on. She is an outgoing person. She loves to help other people. She loves to have fun and spend time with her family. Our guest grew up in the projects with both parents. In addition to suffering from asthma, she also had a lot of shortcomings, but she never allowed that to stop her. She knows what she wants in life, and of course, she has been and will continue to be determined to reach her goals. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me make welcome Miss Erica Roberts.
Hi,
Welcome again,
everyone.
Erica.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I'm always excited to talk about my journey.
Yes.
Because I just never know who's out there that can be sharing the same thing or going through the challenges that I went through, and I can help them with what I went through. So I'm excited about talking about it, talk about my whole life period, even my great city.
Yes. All right. So, what did I miss in the intro? Tell us a little bit more about Erica Roberts, and then we'll get into your journey and then talk about you being an author.
Hi, everyone. My name is Erica Roberts. I'm 38 years old. I'm a caregiver. I'm an author. I'm a founder of a foundation. Give a sister a hug. I'm a sister, and I'm a great auntie. Um, I started my journey in New Orleans, June the 16th, which is my birthday. I have my parents, the late Maxie P. Collier and Miss Edna Roberts, and she likes to be known as Marie. And I have a brother, his name is Money, and we're 13 years apart. We're a big gap, but I have 2 nieces, 2 nephews, and I have 9 great nieces and nephews that I also love. My journey started, I was diagnosed at the age of 6 months with asthma. And they don't diagnose kids that early with asthma. They have to be a year old. But I was considered a chronic asthmatic patient. And as time go on, I was have these asthma attacks, my mom and my dad would bring me to the hospital. And sometimes we'll get to the front of the hospital and have to turn back around because I would start back wheezing. I had asthma that bad. I met this doctor, and I was always short and fat as a kid, as growing up. And what the doctors was doing was giving me medicine for my age, but they wasn't giving me medicine for my weight because I
Mm-hmm.
was fat and then my lungs wasn't expanding. So they had to give me medicine for my weight and not my age. So what he would do, he would tell my mom, I'm gonna OD her. And OD her mean give me a lot of medicine that he can get into my bloodstream just to help me just to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So we would do that was my routine sometimes. I was in school, sometimes I was out of school. I wasn't in school a lot. I had to do a lot of my schoolwork from the hospital because there was times I would just have to stay in the hospital. I couldn't go home. And I could remember I stopped breathing on my mama. And I stopped breathing on my mama actually twice. And stopped breathing, I was losing a lack of oxygen to my brain. So when I got in the fourth grade, my teacher discovered that I couldn't read. But what I was doing was using my memory. So if you guys remember in school, they used to give you these little books that the teacher will read, and they'll give you one to bring home. So what
Yeah.
I was doing was remembering what the teacher was reading in school, and I would get home. But the teacher found it, kind of switched up my book home. My mama they kind of went in cahoots on me, and it was like she showed my mom that I wasn't reading. I was using my memory. I was remembering everything that she was reading. So in the fourth grade, I was not able to read. In school, I went to Helen S. Ellis here in New Orleans, and they had this program called Title One. And in that program, I would be there. They'll have a tutor help me to read, and that's how I started off. Like it wasn't that I was in special ed, I just needed extra help, and I needed a reading tutor to help me to learn how to read. And I went on as up to sixth grade. I actually graduated from sixth grade, and even when I got to high school, I still had a reader to help me get through it because as I move up, it was more challenge. It was getting a little challenging for me, but I never stopped. I kept on going, and even still dealing with my asthma, and sometimes I would still be out of school, but I was able to get back because I had a tutor to help me
Mm-hmm.
get to where I need to be. So I think about 11 between 10th and 11th grade, life just changed for me. And when I said change, I was starting to get the hang of reading. I wasn't scared to read in front of class. Like it was just a whole life change for me. I was doing stuff with the American Red Cross in 12th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about AIDS and just going around talking to other peers like myself. I actually graduated from high school, which my mama will always say, and it was always something that my mama was like, "My baby not gonna graduate, my baby gonna this, my baby gonna that," and I actually ended up graduating with a 2.5. So that was exciting for me. But in between that time, I dealt with shaming, and I was going with this guy, and I talk about this in my book too. That we was going together, and he went around saying that we had sex. And he told everybody in our little community that we had sex. So it was a big old thing that I had to deal with, dealing with people knowing that I had sex with a boy. And I was 16 years old when that happened. So I dealt with that. But all of that, even not being able to read, going to school, dealing with the um people just looking at you saying things about you. I graduated with a 2.0. It wasn't a high GPA average, but I graduated given what all I went through. So we
Yes.
actually we moved from that little community and we moved uptown, and I think moving to our new place, and it kind of gave me a new life. Like it gave me a new atmosphere, new everything that I can be Erica and not have to deal with what I went through, people knowing that I had sex, just the whole community knowing. But
Mm-hmm.
me and the guy end up we kind of squashed things. He apologized because come to find out, he told his friend, and his friend was the one. He didn't even actually did it. He told his friend, and his friend was the one. So we kind of mend our relationship, and he actually passed away maybe 3 months after us mending our friendship. So
Oh,
I went on to I graduated. I went to college. I started college. I went to community college. Maybe my second year in community college, I lost a lot of blood through my cycle, and but I still had my well, I still was using reading my reader tutor even in college, because I
mm-hmm.
still, transitioning from high
Yeah.
school to college is something different. But my second semester in college, I lost a lot of blood through my cycle, and I couldn't understand what was going on. But I went to the doctor, and the doctor did blood work, and come to find out my blood count was like 2.5. But I did the blood work and went back home, and he called my mom, and he was like, Miss Roberts, where is Erica? And my mom was like, oh, she laying on the sofa sleeping. And the doctor said, you sure she's sleeping and not dead? And my mom was like, wait a minute, what? My brother had to rush me back to the hospital, because my blood count was like literally low. I had to have a
Mm-hmm.
blood transfusion. Two bags of blood I had to do, but still they never found out why
Even
I
after losing that much blood, you still had to do a blood transfusion.
yeah, like,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
they did a blood transfusion. So I went through that, that was a setback. I end up setting out a semester because I had to get my energy back. I had to get myself together. So even doing that, I end up even graduated. I received my
Mm,
associates,
yeah.
and I went on, and as you all know, 2005 Katrina hit. So when Katrina hit, I was in college, but that kind of had to stop. So we relocated to Arkansas. We stayed there 2 years, and just trying to figure out things. I did a little work in Arkansas as a substitute teacher in a computer, because I always loved computer. So I did
Mm-hmm.
that for a while, and still went on, and we relocated back. I started bachelor's. I started working on my bachelor's degree online, and I got a full-time job. Maybe 3, 4 months into me having a full-time job, my mama started walking. And my mama like fell down one day, and we didn't know what was going on, why she fell down. My mama started walking. And my house caught a fire. My house caught a fire. My mama couldn't walk, and we had to live in a hotel. But the hotel manager ended up allowing me to use her computer just to finish, that I can get my bachelor's degree. And my mama ended up having surgery, and we end up finding a house and moving in. But my mama went to rehab for 60 days. So we got the new house. Me and my dad was in the new house. My mama came home, and going through that, just dealing with all those different setbacks. But I never stopped. I had a full-time job. My job was very supportive. When I needed to take off, my boss very understanding, and I was always there. And then I had to become the caregiver of my mom. So
Mm-hmm.
doing that, I actually, me and my dad was like, we need to get a bigger house. So I moved into the condo that I'm living in now, so that my mama could be able to get around, because the doors were small. So in 2010, my daddy passed. January 25th of 2010, my daddy passed, which left me being the caregiver and taking care of my mom. And at that time, my brother was incarcerated. So I was working a full-time job, working on my
School
master's.
online.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I was working on my master's degree at the time when my dad passed away. So it just that kind of took my whole life to this whole. I was in a relationship at the time too. I had a boyfriend. We was going through things, and it was just like when I did that, like he had always been there to help me get through that. But that changed my life. I went from just being a regular average teenager to taking on a whole responsibility of taking care of my mom,
Mm-hmm.
working. It was a challenge. It was a big challenge. When I say a
Yeah.
big challenge, like it was so much to, like what's going on. And maybe 6 months into it, my mama got really sick. And I thought my mama was passing, but she was just really sick. She have chronic lymphedema, and that went on. She would be in the hospital days on days. She would come home, with PIC lines, and I had to do all that and work.
Yeah.
So I took care of her, working and going to school. But I ended up graduating 2010 with my master's, and so I'm like, okay, I'm not going back to school because like it's just a lot. It was a lot. You just trying to figure it all out and be in a relationship. So me and my boyfriend, we end up breaking up.
Mm.
So I took maybe 2 or 3 years off of dating, just trying to focus on everything that I have going on. By then I'm able to get my mom in a good routine, and I'm in work. I was promoted. I moved up to building maintenance coordinator. So I'm really, life is really just going good at this point, and 3 years in, I got into another relationship. And that relationship ended in a domestic violence because I did that relationship domestic violence. We had been together 5, 6 years, and one day we had on New Year's Day, we had an argument, and he slammed shut the door and slammed me against the wall and choked me. And I'm like, okay, this never happened. This something new, so you dealing with this. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? And he actually let me down. And I sat down on the side of the bed because I always read about domestic violence. And I'm like, okay, I'm sitting there. Do I want to be that girl to be a statistic, or I want to stand up and give myself a voice? And I knew at the time we was living in public housing. My mama was elderly. My mama in a wheelchair. So I knew I was risking of losing a lot. And I called 911. And I made the decision of taking my voice back and not being a statistic, because that's not what I wanted to be. Because I know once it starts, it never ends. And I
Mm.
said, I'm gonna stop this now and take my voice back and stand up. And I
Mm.
called the police, and he actually went to jail. And we went through that whole situation, and we actually got back together because we figured we could work it out.
Wow.
But that didn't last because he came back, and maybe 3 weeks later, I went to work. I got up one morning and I went to work, and he actually left. He abandoned. I knew nothing about him leaving. I went to work, he packed his stuff and he left. And we had no contact from then. So I dealt with the whole thing of abandonment,
Mm-hmm.
domestic violence, and you trying to put it all together in your head. Okay, what did I do to deserve that? So it's like, okay, I went through therapists. I seen the therapist because I needed to figure this out, because I'm thinking to myself, why me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was the good person. I'm the good girlfriend. I did, I worked. So, and you deal with self-esteem, because that's when low
Yeah.
self-esteem kicked in, because now I'm feeling down. I'm feeling agitated. I'm no good. Like, I'm just going through all these different mixed emotions because I can't figure out what was going on. And people be like, well, I'm not going to talk to a therapist. Like, in the Black community, therapist is shame. That's something that's
Yeah.
looked down, because you just go talk to the pastor, or you talk to somebody in your family, and that's it.
Pray for me.
Yeah. Like, we gonna pray it away and it's just gonna go away. But it don't work like that. So I changed that. I said, I'm gonna change that narration for my family, because I'm gonna go seek help, because it's for the help that I need to get. And if I want to be a better person, and going through that, you learn a lot of self-love. I built my confidence back up. Like, I started taking care of me, loving me more, and just like putting everything aside. Like, I would take a date, like, and I still do this now to this day. Like, I go out on a date by myself. Like, it's cool because I don't have to worry about it. And it's like, at first it felt funny. It was like, damn, I'm doing this by myself. Wait a minute, hold on. But
Mm-hmm.
in the end, it felt good. Like, it was like, okay, I could do this. And the more I did it, it was like, okay, But in actuality, you taking a lot of time for yourself. Like you giving yourself that love and you loving yourself more. So I was like, okay, this cool. And I just went through that process, and it was a hard process because it's like you at one point you feeling like you have to be in a relationship, but I didn't have to be in a relationship. I can still love myself. So it was that time that I took to love Erica, to put Erica back together. But I never really talked about my domestic violence situation. I just kind of hid it because I'm like, well, I don't want to talk about it. But I was in this group called Girl Track, and we exercised, and we used to go walking. And I ended up finding talking to other girls, other ladies that was going through the same thing. It was in domestic violence relationship. So I was able to talk about it in a group setting like that, but nothing like big. So as life go on, everything was good. I stopped dating for a while because I needed to get myself together. I needed to unpack
Mm-hmm.
all that baggage, not to bring extra baggage into my next situation, Um
Yeah.
20 2018, 2018, 2019, I got back in a relationship.
Wow.
And the relationship was pretty good. But one thing about boyfriend number five, like I started going to church because it was just like a whole lot of stuff going on. And I actually got baptized. And we actually from then when I made the decision to get baptized in that Thanksgiving, when I say everything went to hell in a handbasket. Everything fell apart. The relationship fell apart. And I was like, something ain't right. Like, what's going on? I decided to
Mm-hmm.
change my life. I'm on this road of getting baptized. Like, what the hell is going on? So I end up going back to the pastor. And I'm like, Pastor, what's going on? Like, my relationship falling apart. Everything around me was really falling apart. And I didn't understand. And Pastor said, God tell you down to build you back up. You
Wow.
decided to make the next step in your life to be baptized. So he tear down. And I got baptized. And when I say that Sunday, I just felt so much of the weight was just like lifted. Like it was a brand new everything. And I'm like, I felt so good about the whole situation, not the relationship, even the relationship was what it was. And I decided, I sat down with my business partner, Yvonne Wilcox, and I was like, I need to do something. What we gonna do? And she was like, I don't know. Let's figure it out. End up starting my Tudor Max radio station, internet based radio station. So building off of that, I started a podcast show. And my podcast show is called The Journey Back from Domestic Violence, The Journey of Love and Relationship. And the reason why I picked Journey Back from Domestic Violence was because I was in a domestic violence relationship. And I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to give other females that voice, like they need to tell a story. So I did that, and listening to some stories, I'm like, oh my God, like my situation seemed this
Yeah.
small because you have women that's dealing with major problems, went through major situations in life. And I did the love and relationship because I talked, everything that I did was kind of based around my book because the journey
Mm-hmm.
was about my life. The journey was about my relationships. I talked about my domestic violence relationship. So everything was built around my book. And so
Yeah.
she was like, well, what else you gonna do? I was like, I don't know. So I said, I was at work one day and I said, I'm gonna write a book. And I emailed her immediately. I was like, I know I'm gonna write this book. So she was like, okay, what this book gonna be called? I was like, I don't know, but I'll let you know. And I was sitting down just thinking about it. I was laying across my bed and I was writing and laying across my bed. And I was like, you know what? This book gonna be called The Journey. And I was like, and I was like, I was like, oh my, what you think about the journey? She was like, yeah. And I was like, the journey is what this book gonna be called because this is a journey. I went on a journey.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing that I like about my book is the first couple of chapters of my life, my mama was able to help me with that, because it was like when I was younger, she talked about the younger years, and like it was the best part about doing that book
Yeah.
was with my mom, like sharing this whole journey with my mom, because that's what it was, a journey that I went through.
Yeah.
And I was like, my mom was like, "You're gonna talk about when you wasn't able to read." And I was kind of scared of that because I didn't know how people was gonna take that.
Yeah.
But I knew I had to talk about it because they might have somebody else that's right now in my shoes that can't read. And they need to know that they can do it. And I never, like, I wrote this book, and the whole thing behind that, the journey was never, like, my theory behind that. I talked about everything that I went through, but I always wanted to show that I learned from one situation and better myself. But the thing in a nutshell was I never gave up on myself, because I could have gave up a long time ago, but I never gave up because I know if I give up, who I'm gonna hurt? Nobody but myself. And I wanted to keep going because I didn't want it to be like, oh, she just gonna be another girl in a project, can't read, can't do this, but she making a lot of babies. And that's not what I wanted for myself. I wanted to do bigger and better things for myself. And I went on, and the thing is, I preach this a lot. Like, don't give up on yourself no matter what you're going through, because you can be going through some situations, but you can't give up. Like, you come too far to give up on yourself at the end of the day. So I had to keep going. Even when times when my mama was sick, like I was always agitated because, like, why me? And people ask the question all the time, like, I people question God, like, why me? Why not you? Like, he give you, like, I feel like he gives me this because he know I'm his strongest warrior to do it. So I'm like, okay, I can do this, but don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not always easy. Believe me,
Yes.
it's not always easy, especially when you changing your life and doing the right thing and not being on the bad side of things. It's
Mm-hmm.
not easy. Like, you are tested every day. Like, every day was a test for me. Like, you gonna do it this way or you gonna do it that way. It was always a test. And I kept on going, but I never gave up on myself, and I never gave up on my situation. And sometimes it was hard. Taking care of my mom, that's a hard situation, especially an elderly person. Like, they set in their ways. Like, they're not trying to do nothing you tell them to do.
Yeah. That's
So
so true.
it's a responsibility. Like, it's really a
Mm-hmm.
responsibility because it changes your life, because you have to think about who you're gonna let around, who's gonna come to your house. And dating was a problem for me because one guy asked me, like, what you gonna do? And I'm like, what you mean, what the hell I'm gonna do? And he said, what you gonna do? You gotta pick me or your mama.
Mm.
So I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm like, wait, say that again? He was like,
Is
it's
that
me or,
even is that even
huh?
a choice?
Yeah, like, is that something?
What?
I said, is that an ABC? He said, yeah, like, it's either me or your mama. So I looked at the door and I looked at him. I said, this my choice. Let's take a walk over here to the door. And I opened my door and I was like, it's always gonna be my mama. So you have people that ask you those kind of, I mean, it hurted me because it's like, really, you asked me, is that a choice I'm supposed to make? I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that that's a choice you're supposed to make. So it kind of set me back, and it's like, okay, so you go through those things of being a caregiver. Being a
Uh-huh.
caregiver is not the easiest task at all, because you have to make sure they're together. My mama is in a wheelchair, and my mama have lymphedema. She have cellulitis, so it's times
Mm-hmm.
that she gonna get sick, and it's times that I'm not gonna be able to do things, and I always have to prepare. I was on my job 15 years, and actually during the COVID, I actually quit my job in September of 20 September the 14th 2020. I just quit my job because I made the decision that I'm gonna quit my job to take care of my mama full time. My mama's 70 years old. I don't know when God gonna call her home. So I'm gonna take advantage of this time. And it's not easy because you have to I have to schedule, plan out things when I wanna go, when I need to go places. I need to make sure somebody's here with her. Like, and now that her condition, she just recently got out the nursing home for rehab. She was
Mhm.
going to this nursing home facility for rehab, and now they sent my mama back home. Didn't do nothing. The doctor asked for my mama's bedbound now. So it changes when her life changes and when
Mhm.
her condition changes. My life changed, and is like, and I'm thankful for my support team that I have, and my
Mhm.
support team is not my family. It's people on the outside, and it's crazy, but you have to just accept what comes. And it's not, like I said, being a caregiver not easy. You have
Mhm.
to make decisions. Like, we went through this document of what she wanted in case something happened. If she stopped breathing, like if she want to be on a ventilator, if she want them to do chest compression. I'm like, wait a minute, we gotta make all these decisions. You the caregiver, that's decisions. What my mama did this paperwork where she didn't want to be on a ventilator, she didn't want to do them to do CPR on her to break her ribs. So we did, like, those are things that you have to do. I had to sign, like, I don't have power of attorney, medical
Mhm.
power of attorney, like
Yeah.
you do all those different things. And I'm like, this is a lot. Like, this is reality. So it leads me home now. So I'm home. So I started my foundation, which is Give a Sister a Hug. And just last year on my year anniversary, I released another book called Sister I Got Your Back. And Sister I
Mhm.
Got Your Back is about two teenage girls. One was in a domestic violence relationship, and she met a friend. And I branched off and I started Give a Sister a Hug, because we always in this a pandemic. We, as females, we carry and we wear so many hats as mamas, sisters, daughters, wives, and we home. And we have a lot of women that's in domestic violence in their home with their abuser. So I wanted to Give a Sister a Hug to be this place, and I do the YouTube talk where we would get together, and I have different people come on. We talk about different things, and I want it to be a place where it's judge free. We support one another. We
Yeah.
talk about relationships. We talk about sisterhood, building sisterhood back, how to keep us uplifted. So Give a Sister a Hug is just a safe environment where females come together. I have Wind Down Fridays with Give a Sister a Hug is my new talk show that I just launched this year with my co-host. And that's like, it's just been this thing where we talk
Yeah.
about different things. The month of February was Black History Month. So we
Mhm.
showcase a lot of Black queens that are doing their business. So, and also with Give a Sister a Hug, the TV show, is we wanted to showcase that two females can work together. We can work together. And that's what we wanted to showcase, to show other females that we don't have to dislike each other. We don't have to put each other down. We
Yeah.
can work together. Like, this is what we want to do. We talk about uplifting topics. We talk about everything from domestic violence to relationship to sex. Like, we talk about it all because there's a judge-free zone. You can say what you have to say. We're gonna talk
Mhm.
about it because we go through things in life, and we just the first show for March is gonna air on the 5th, and it's talk about sex, relationship, threesomes, because that's reality. That's what, that's
So
things.
we're definitely gonna have to come over and give you the support that you need.
So it's like, and we on sisterhood. Like, sisterhood, we gotta build it up. We can't keep putting each other down, and especially us in the Black community. We want to put each other down. We can't. We need to build each other up. We're in a time where we need to love one another. We need to bring each other together. We need to just stop putting each other down and
Yes.
doing things to each other. So that's what I want to bring, like this positive thing and building sisterhood together. So that's been working out for me good because it's hard sometimes. Believe me, it's
Yes.
hard because you still have girls that you still scared to make new friends. And I challenge all my sisters
Mhm.
around me, make one new friend. Like one sister post. I don't care if she posts a dog up there. Like it, comment, share, whatever. Like show her some love. If her dog is what she love, hey, that's what she love, her dog. So I'm cool with that. So that's what I want us women to just challenge one another, just to share that love. Like we don't have to be mean to each other. We could keep this going. Like let's be supportive of one another and let's, just take each other to another place. And that's what Give Us a Hug the Talk Show is about. Like showing that women can work together, building one another up. We don't have to always be nasty. It's okay for you to tell one sister she beautiful. Nothing
Mhm.
wrong with that. Sister, your hair popping. I like that. That makeup popping on you. I don't wear makeup, but if I feel like it look good on another sister, hey, it look good on you, sister. I like that. Keep wearing it. So
That's
what's
so true.
right? So what's so hard about uplifting one another?
Yeah.
So it's like that. I dropped, and then the end of the year of December 2020, I dropped my ABC Kids inspirational book. And I came up with
Mm.
that because I couldn't read in the fourth grade. So if I can give my future kids something, and it's an uplifting where they can know word like A for apple, B for beautiful. So, did little things like that because I want our kids to be able to read. Because I know the shortcomings, I know what I dealt with of not being able to read. So it's just
Mhm.
a lot of things like everything I do kind of is the meshed around what the things that I went through in life. So that's based, and I'm relaunching my podcast again. So it's just a lot of things that I'm working on just to try to uplift each other as women and give other females that been through domestic violence relationship a platform to tell a story.
Yes, yes. And
So I know
I
that was a lot.
listen, that was a whole mouthful, but it is also very intriguing and commendable to see you learning so much from all that you've been through, not being able to read at an early age, parent died, you had to take care of your mother, failed relationships, domestic
Right.
abuse, all of that, and still find it in you to give back to women and to give back to children. Whew, Sister
And to
Child,
get
you was doing a
and just,
lot.
just just to get up, just to get up every day and smile. Like
Yes.
that's hard for women these days because we in this pandemic and people losing their jobs, the kids are home. Like it's hard. So I want to show that no matter what we go through, we can
Mm-hmm.
still get up. It's okay not to be okay some days, but you can't stay there. Like, don't
Yeah.
stay there in that moment. I know it's hard. Like, I have my days that I have my times that I'm not always positive. Live in the moment, live right there in the moment, but we can't stay there. We gotta
Mm-hmm.
get up tomorrow and let's shoot for the goal. And every day we're not gonna make the mark. We're gonna miss the mark sometimes, but that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just know that you have tomorrow and let's go for it again. Let's work on it again. Because you can do it. No matter how tough it's gonna get tight. But you can do whatever you wanna do as long as you put your mind to it and just keep
Mm-hmm.
focused, and have people that's around you that's gonna support you, not bring you down. I went through my journey. I went through my journey by myself, even taking care of my mom. I didn't have my family. I had outside friends that helped me. The people on my job was, when I say supportive, very supportive. If I needed things, they was there for me. So family is not always the people that you sleep and live with. Sometimes it's the people on the outside that's
Yeah.
there. So you want to have that support team to say, all right, sis, I seen you was down yesterday. Let's get up. You need that sister to pick up the phone. How you doing today? she might be annoying and she might be getting on your nerve by calling you every day. But it's the little things like that that I appreciate. I went this last December when my mama went in the hospital and went to the nursing home. I went through I fell into a dark place. Like I was in that dark place because I didn't know what was gonna happen. I was sick. I was dealing with this sciatica. Like I went in a dark place. Like Kim called me every day. All right, what we doing today? I'm like, I can't do this today, not today. Like I was crying and I was down, just going through it. And every day she picked up the phone and believe me, I'm like, hell for you getting on my nerves. Don't call my phone. You know, like, don't call my phone. I'm sick of like I'm not doing this. But I thank her because every day she called me and she like, what we doing today? How you doing today? What you doing over there? You know, and she lived way in Texas and she pick up the phone every day. And I'm crying. And then she was like, look, you gotta get it together. Cause see all that? We not doing that today. And I would hang up on her. And you know, you think she stopped? Like she, she called me every day. And she was like, look, we need to figure out what I need to do. Do I need to call a doctor or somebody? Because I was dealing with sciatica pain and I didn't know because that was my first time dealing with it. So end up her calling me every day. And it might have got on my nerve, but I really appreciate that because that just showed me somebody cared about me to pick up the phone to
every
see
day.
about me every day and hear me crying every day. And I'm like, look, I don't want to talk to you today. Don't call my phone. Just don't tell me nothing. And I would hang up. And she FaceTime me like, didn't I just hang my phone?
Viewers, can you relate? Do you have one of those friends? I know I do.
And you know, like if she
It's
wouldn't have,
a lot. They
right,
care, but it
but they aggravated that. And it's the small things like that really we appreciate. Like if she didn't call me, where would I be at right now? Probably depressed because that's where I was going at. And she was
that's
like, look, if you depressed, I'm depressed. And guess what? Both of us can't be depressed. I was like, girl, get off this phone. I don't want to talk no more. But it make me now appreciate those little things like that call. Her kept on calling me and like, you know, you beautiful. I'm not feeling beautiful today. Don't call me today. You know, like, and those are the words like you beautiful, you enough. You know, like that's what she was calling me. You okay? You're gonna be okay. You're gonna get up. Let's what we gonna talk about today. Like she'll find something to get me talking, and we like those are the sisters that we need. We
Mhm.
need that friend that's
Yeah.
gonna uplift us, that's gonna get us out that slum because
Mhm.
we get stuck in that slum sometimes. So
Yeah.
that's what I that's what that's my goal for Give a Sister a Hug, for all of us to have that one sister, that one annoying sister that's gonna annoy you and call you, but it's just to show you that she cares.
Yeah.
And I
And
do her that now.
thank you for reminding me that I need to appreciate my friends
And you
who,
know, it's
yes,
okay because we have to check on our strong sisters because our strong sisters are the ones that's going through everything because they take care of everybody. So we need to check sisters if y'all got y'all strong friends out there. Take care of y'all strong friends. Call them up because believe me, they'll appreciate that because they take care of everybody else. So they will appreciate it. Now she might tell you get off her phone, but she love you. Don't take it personal.
hear that? All right. So let us see what the people have to say to you tonight, Miss Erica. We have Floretta Lewis, who had been here before we went live. Yeah, she was the first person here.
Yes.
Good night. And Kemar says good night. Leandra, we're gonna be meeting her on screen soon. Just released her book too.
Okay.
Good night, Miss Leandra. Nikisha, big up yourself. Saying hi. Oh, I was making note of something you said. God tore you down to build you back up. I really love
Yes,
that.
yes.
Hey, Yannick.
Hey,
Lady D. Hello, ladies.
hello.
A true statement. Being a caregiver is hard, but it's worth it, especially when we help our parents.
Yes, it is.
Lord,
Well,
I
I
can
can
relate.
relate. Yes,
And
yes.
her dad actually passed the other day, so
Uh,
yes, she can. She really she broke down.
wow.
Yeah.
Thumbs
Um,
up.
for the live. Yes, people, remember to like the video. I feel hospitals and doctors pressure people to sign DNR, especially when they aren't coherent.
Yes, they do. And I think that's why it's called DNR was okay. And I think that's why my mama doctor wanted her to do one beforehand because they tend to when they get sick, they ask them that and some people be sick, they don't know what that is. They're not
Yeah.
focused, they're sick. So I
Mhm.
guess that's why my mom doctor wanted her to do one early in advance where now she's a sound mind, she can make those decisions.
All right. Lady D says, speak that truth, Erica, and thank you for your incredible work and how you are giving back and making impact. Of
Yes.
course.
Yes.
Yay, we are also Women's Month the whole month. This is
Yes.
Women's Month?
Yeah, I didn't know that either till somebody was telling me
Oh,
about it. It's the whole month.
I
Yes.
think what that the a Monday, what it
March,
March
I think
8th
it's March the
is
8th. Mm-hmm.
International. Oh, girl.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
big celebration. Give a sister hope. I think
Yes.
she said hug. Did you say
It's give us
hope or
a
hug?
it's give us a hug.
Hug. All
Yes.
right. We're gonna have
And
to check out that channel later on. Let your extra light shine from within. Hold
yes.
on, Miss Erica. Like Lady D is killing it.
Yes, she
And
is.
Erica, what was the hardest thing you endured? The thing that made you pivot and said, enough is enough.
I don't know. And that's the question that my mama even asked me. Like, I think it was more of the people looking at you while you're reading and you can't pronounce those different words and stuff. And I was like, this gotta change. And in the 10th grade, something clicked. I don't know what it was, but I guess maybe because I was going through tutor and everything.
Mm,
And I was able to get in class because my teachers had to always report to the tutor how I'm doing in class. And I actually had got up in front of the class and read a whole paragraph. And like everybody in the class was like, yeah, you did it. You didn't, like excited. The teacher was even excited. So she called the tutor and told. So I think when I made that little effort and when I read that first little paragraph, it just clicked that, okay, you can do this. Like it's gonna be hard. And it was hard. It was a challenge, but I did it. And I
mm.
kept like I'm on and on now.
I love it. I really love it. Bended but not broken
Yeah.
equals Eric.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of
Hi.
support is important. Yeah. It was a
Support.
lot of that bending sometimes and actually Whitney Houston made that song.
Mr. Andrew Codner, I had to give you that shout out. Thank you for coming. This is good. Be that listening ear, be that friend, and just there because you never know what the other person needs.
Yeah. Lady
It, it,
D
wa-
just rocking us tonight, huh?
it was the hef for me.
Yeah.
What was that tea today?
Yeah, I was
That's
like, God, don't call me no more.
A1 from day one, even though it may be annoying to us.
Yes, it
I'm not
is.
gonna call her name. She knows herself. Sometimes I can't manage. Shanique, you are my A1 from day one, sister from another. Yes, this girl, Caribbean descent, like she's all patois on me. But woo,
But you know what? We need those friends. Like, what we'll do without them?
yeah, she
What
is
we gonna do without
a
them?
big motivator. I can tell you
That's
that.
it. Yup.
Sometimes you gotta be that friend that is not part of the pity party. Oh my God. You in pain or grieving, but you gotta get up and do something. Like,
Yes. And you know what? We have those pity parties sometimes, and it's okay, but don't live there. Like it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. But I say it all the time, don't live there. Live in the moment, but don't live there because when you holding all that pain in, you can hold it in and it could start affecting your pressure, your health, your mental health. Like we gotta let all that out. You know, live there. It's okay, but tomorrow's a new day, and let's brush it off and get going with life.
All right. So many powerful women supporting one another. It's a beautiful sight. Yes, March 8th
March
is
8th is
International.
International Women's Day.
I
Yes,
wonder what I'm gonna do that day. I mean March 8th. Okay. Yeah. I am the annoying little sister. I'ma call you and talk or just be silent until you're ready to talk. And I am always going to motivate and empower you until I touch your soul.
yes.
I think I'm annoying sometimes too.
Me too.
This
I
sounds
can be.
this sounds like something my sister would write. Yeah, I do get on the nerve sometimes. Erica, where are you? I
From
guess.
New Orleans.
How did you
One of
know?
Yes, probably my accent and
And
probably
it's
when I
not even that strong,
and you know
girl.
what else? And you know what else? When I say baby, like she probably figured that out right away because people from New Orleans, I don't know what it is, but they always want to hear I say baby. And I don't know, like everywhere I go and they be like, "You from New Orleans?" I say, "Why?" Because you say baby. And I'm not sure what that is, but that's a thing that they always ask us to say baby.
Yeah,
Like, okay, what that mean?
y'all
Probably.
go watch Princess and the Frog when we're done. Hey, Shanique. All right. Well, the only questions I have for you is the 10 questions that will close us tonight.
Okay.
And based on tonight's response, of course, we are gonna have to bring you back for another session. Oh, yes, Genesis. Genesis. Lady D says, I want some, what's
Bing.
this?
She want Bing gays. That's the little powder.
Benet.
Yeah,
Benet.
they donuts, but they have little powder
Oh,
sugar on top of it
oh,
from
yes.
Cafe Du Monde.
Yeah, I saw those in Princess and the Frog or some good
Yes,
Creole food.
yes.
Yeah.
Red
I
beans and
was
rice
about to
or
ask
gumbo.
if you have Creole in New Orleans. Give us a word that we can remember you by. Baby.
Baby. Yes, like baby. That's the way.
Baby.
If you ask anybody you meet from New Orleans, it's like baby. That's the man. I was like, I don't know, but okay then, baby. Yes, Cafe Du Monde is yes, it is. We have Decatur. It's on Decatur here in New Orleans. That's what a big Cafe Du Monde at, and that's where they sell beignets and coffee. And
Mm,
and you know what? You would if the powdered sugar don't get all over your clothes, you have not had a beignet because
mm, mm.
it's gonna get all over your clothes. So it's good donut. People eat that all day. Like they eat that all day. Red beans and rice is another thing here in New Orleans. Gumbo.
I heard about gumbo, yes. Is it
Yes.
like a soup or
A
something?
seafood, yep, it's a seafood gumbo. You have shrimps, crabs, chicken wings, hot sausage, smoked sausage. Like it's like a bowl of soup. That's what it is. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. That sounds good. All right, so I guess that will take us to our 10 questions with Erica tonight. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for staying with us for the entire live stream.
Yes.
Definitely, we're going to have to bring back Miss Erica online because we have more things to ask her and time's not just going to allow us. So,
I'll
guys,
be
if you
happy to
have
come
any,
back. I'll be happy to come back. Just let me know.
Lady D says that Erica best food is apparently at someone's mama house and not Boba Gump.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it is. Big Mama's house. That's what my mama always was, the Big Mama house for us. My mama or my auntie, so they took care of like food, cooking gumbo and everything. So yes.
All right. So this is where everything now gets exciting, because we end with 10 questions, and it's really just to get to know you a little bit more, and get the audience to kind of connect with you a little bit
Right.
more.
And get
They
with
love
all
you
us. Yeah.
already, but they're gonna love you even more. Something like
Yes.
that. So 10 questions. Hold on, let me get my tag.
Okay.
Viewers, you can tell us what questions you'd like to add, no problem. So I will start. If you could be an actress, who would that be?
If I can be an actress, hmm,
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
hmm, who would that be? There's a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of people that as far as a woman is a woman. Um, Whitney Houston.
Okay.
I like
Why?
her in Preacher's Wife.
Ah.
She played in the
Okay.
Preacher's Wife. I like Whitney Houston, period, because she's very uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
She's herself.
Mm-hmm.
She always know how to make you smile. Like, she always giving you
Yeah.
positive stuff. So Whitney will be my person if I wanted to be, because I like her and the Preacher's Wife. And I like her because she was on the ice skating, she was dancing, and
Yeah.
I was like, well, I don't know about me going on ice skates, but that's what I like. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 If you could be a fruit, what would that be?
Strawberry, because I'm sweet. A strawberry.
All right, give me a second. Lady D is adding a question. If you came across a lump sum, oh Lord, a lump sum of money, what charity would you donate to, or what business will you build out full-fledged?
If it had to be a charity, it would be um for asthma. And I'm not sure if they even have one for asthma, but if they don't, I will start one and donate. I would donate to diabetes, because I was diagnosed with diabetes at the age of 24 years old.
Wow, interesting. Wow, you sure have a lot to say, and that's why you have to come back, because we can't be done. We can't do this in 1 hour.
No.
My third question is silence is my superpower. What's yours?
My smile.
A smile.
Yes, my smile. I get that a lot.
I believe.
Um,
I
yes,
believe you.
my smile is my superpower. I get that a whole lot. Even when I take pictures and people see my pictures, like, my smile is everything. So
Even
yes,
on the live stream. That's
yes,
true.
it's,
I believe. I
yes,
believe that.
it's my smile, and I'm always smiling. Even the days that I'm down, I'm always smiling. You never know the pain, but it's there. But smile. We need to smile through the pain.
Yes. Do you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Smile through the
Smile
pain.
through the pain.
Favorite color?
Purple. And the
Hmm.
reason why I picked purple is because that was the only color in school I knew how to spell.
Wow.
Like, my,
Wow.
my mama was like so tired of me with purple. Like, always, I used to say, that look, PURPLE, purple.
Oh Lord.
Yes,
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, do you hear that?
purple was
Wow.
my only color.
Favorite self-care tip?
Take an hour out the day for yourself. I like quietness too, so I'll take an hour out the day and just shut my phone down and everything, close my door, and just that hour. In that hour, I might pray, or I might just lay there.
Mm, wow. First time I'm hearing somebody say that, take an hour and just
Yes, it's the depress, suppress everything, get it all out,
yeah.
and I take my hour at 12 o'clock. That means out of my morning situation, that's everything that I deal with my mama was physical therapy, occupation therapy, the nurse. So at 12, I need to come
Mm,
down.
yeah, yeah. Lady D says Purple Rain
Rain,
Prince.
purple. Yes, Prince says this thing, purple rain.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
Lady D, I'm gonna let you do the next interview because I'm so lost. I am lost. Favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby is on a computer.
Mm.
Computer is where I started at. Computer, I went to this school we had on Saturdays, and that's what I've learned, dealt with all my life, computer. So computers is it for me. Whatever it is, I'm gonna do it on a computer.
Okay. I love it too. I mostly do Canva. When I go to Canva, I get lost and I don't want to do anything else for the rest of the day. Yeah. Favorite joke?
My favorite joke is a knock knock joke. Knock knock, who's there? The wolf, wolf who? I don't know. Like I
Wolf?
like knock knock. Wolf,
Wolf
wolf
who?
who? Wolf,
Okay.
wolf.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not a big dog.
Interesting.
I like all knock knock jokes. Any kind of
It
little
is
knock knock.
it's
It's
your
just
it's your favorite.
yes.
What's your favorite? Because mine is like I don't know, like the memes that they do here,
Yeah,
about local stuff or your mama.
yeah.
The your
Your
mama
mama
jokes.
ugly.
Mm. All right. Favorite food and thing to cook.
My favorite food is PNG. I love a PNG sandwich.
What's that?
Peanut butter and jelly. I
Oh,
I love a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
so it's
And it's
PNG.
so PNG. PNG. And that's the peanut
PNG.
butter and jelly. Favorite food to cook. Like, let me tell y'all a little secret. At once upon a time, like I never wanted to cook. Like I never was in the kitchen with my mama. My brother was always in the kitchen with my mama, not me. But I had to learn how to cook because of my mama, if not able to stand at the stove. So the one thing that I love to cook is oven fried chicken.
Mm. Okay. All right. Jenny. Lord, I'm mixing up the names. Hold on a second. Leandra says, apart from being an author, what other top goal do you wish to achieve?
Author was never something that I wanted to do. I always wanted to work with computers, but more goals that one thing I would like to achieve is being out in the community doing community service, because that's basically what I did too in high school with American Red Cross. So that's something that my next thing that I'm working to do, and hopefully when this pandemic get better, I can do more community service stuff. Yes.
All these goals. I'm sure you have them pinned somewhere in your diary.
It just oh, I want to do that. This is what I want to do. So I'll kind of mark them down. They're all up here because it's
Okay.
every day I'm doing something towards that one goal.
Okay. All right. Do you sing?
No, I don't sing. I'm not the girl that sing.
Do you have a favorite song that you like to listen to that, probably makes you feel good about when you're feeling down, what you listen to?
Okay by Kurt Franklin. It's on his new album. It's called Okay, and it's by Kurt Franklin, or I'm Thankful for It All by Marvin Sapp, and that's
Mm.
on a vessel.
I'm gonna have to look for those because I'm not familiar with those two.
Those are gospel songs. Like Kurt Franklin is Okay. I listen to that a lot. And
Yeah,
the
I know
biggest
Kirk
one,
Franklin and Marvin Sapp. I just don't know
yeah,
those songs.
yeah, it's called I'm Thankful for It All, and it's on his new album, The Vessel.
All right, all right. Shade says, I want to be a social worker as well. All these caregivers in the house.
Yes, it's. I mean, it's a good thing. Like it's being a caregiver is. I wouldn't change it. Like if I had to do it all over, I'll do it again. I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world.
Hmm. Okay. And I see that you have a lot of love in you. So,
Yeah, I'm
yes, I
passionate
believe.
about it.
I can see it. I can feel it.
Yeah.
It's all over you. Trust
And I
me,
just
it's
want to
there.
just give it to everybody, like they can have, like just every day on I put up on my Instagram page, give a sister a hug. Every day I do some kind of affirmation for everybody. Like I do some for single moms. Like I just did the one just wanted the single moms to know that I was proud of them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot. That takes a lot. That's the work. That's a job, and everybody not cut out to be a single parent. So I'm commending to all of the ladies that does it because that's a job to
Mm-hmm.
deal with our little people because they can be a handful.
Just like we were when we
Yeah, it's
were.
like our little people, and I love our little people. And our little people just they need a lot of love. They very they special.
Yeah.
Some of them are, oh Lord, I love my little people, my little great nieces and nephews. Like
Mhm.
I love my little people. I give my little people anything. The thing that I like about they're very smart in school. Like I have my great nephew is 9 years old and he was reading my book and
Mm,
some words in the. I'm like, why how you know that? But I love them. I love my little people, and
mhm.
anything that I can do for our little people, I'm gonna do it. Because they are our future.
Okay. Well said. Well said. Last thing I want to know. I'm sorry, I'm curious. I'm gonna ask everybody that comes in the hot seat this question or this favor. Give us your best. I know that you might not get it right, but I don't mind and I don't care. Give us your best Caribbean accent.
Caribbean, okay, Bumba. That's the one, right?
Who?
The accent, like
Mm-hmm.
from the Caribbean, Ula Bumba. I don't know how to say it, but I watched this movie. These little
Okay.
people, yeah, it's Uli Bumba. I'm like,
Okay.
what?
I don't know that one, but it's kind of sound
It's close. Hey,
Caribbean.
I'm not perfect, but
Okay, let me tell you one. Yeah, man.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I hear, yeah, yeah, man.
So you keep that one until we come back. That's your homework. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. That's my
Yeah.
homework. I like homework.
Yeah, man. All
Yeah,
right.
man.
Shade said that's right. Okay. Well, it's been a really great night. Great talking to you.
Same here. I
Any
really enjoy myself.
Yes, and of course we have to bring you back. Have to.
Yes,
Might
and
have to
just let
clear you.
everybody know that do not give up on yourself. Like that's big. Don't give up on yourself. I don't care how tight times get and it's gonna get rough. It's gonna get rough and know that it's rainbow at the end of the tunnel and just don't give up on yourself and just keep moving. Pick your head up and make sure you always have somebody that's supportive around you.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We spoke to Miss Erica, author Erica Roberts, all the way from New Orleans.
Yes.
New Orleans. And tonight she learned Caribbean and she
Oh,
encouraged us a lot. Yes.
yes.
Appreciate the love, Erica. Honestly, I feel it through the screen. Really, really
Yes.
appreciate it. Grateful, bad. I'm so grateful. Um, yeah, we will definitely keep in touch. Say good
Yes.
night to the viewers, especially Lady D, because she's
Bye, Lady D. Thanks for all of the comments and the questions. Thanks so much. And I appreciate that you guys listen to my story. And I hope you get something out of it.
oh, tell us where we can get your book.
Amazon. You can Amazon. All three books are there, or you can DM me on Instagram, and I'll do a signed copy. Instagram at Give a Sister a Hug, or my Tutor Max the Instagram.
Okay, and all her information is in the description, guys. So when we're finished, just paste the link for your book in the comments so we can find it. So I can have it to reshare on Facebook.
Okay, then cool. That's no problem.
So thank you all for joining. Have a great rest of the night, Miss Erica Roberts, and to
Thank
all our
you.
viewers, Shade, Leandra, Lady D, everybody, Kemar, everyone. We just want to say a big thank you for coming out tonight. Nikisha, Miss Florita, everybody, even the silent viewers. Thank you.
Cause they just because they're silent, that don't mean they're not watching.
We love you all and we appreciate you coming out every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday just to hear, the gems. We love that. Don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next live. Erica, have a great night, y'all.
Good night.
All right.